I just wanted to take a second and show you how I restart my my mealworm bin. So what I do is I pour off all of the substrate and the mealworms and the beetles that are in the bin that I'm using. And what I do is I'll pour them off into a separate container, and this is what was in the separate container. I scoop it, and then I will sift it out into a completely different container. And what I'm doing is I'm catching all of the eggs and the teeny tiny mealworms. Then what's left in here is the big mealworms, the beetles, and the pupae. And I just pour them all into a separate container. And I just do that back and forth until it's all done. I don't think there's any way that this camera is going to pick it up, but there are teeny tiny mealworms crawling around in here, and sometimes you can catch them kind of coming down after you've sifted. But I'll pour this container off into a either a kiddie pool or several other small containers, and then I'll put a little bit more whole wheat flour in it because it's easy to find. And then I'll let this grow out, and as it grows out, I'll continue to sift it until we're done with this. This substrate has been in this container, or a different container, for a little bit, probably really close to a year now. And so now I'm completely resetting it, and so I want to take off everything that's left in here, and I want to start over with a new batch. And so I'll take this container and I'm going to pour in some whole wheat flour and some oatmeal, and then I will just kind of sift it next year around this time. But anytime I need any mealworms, all I'll have to do is go in here, and I'll just, usually if you lift this, you'll find most of the beetles. But I will just take out whatever I need for whatever reason, and then I will feed them to the animals, or help out a chick that's having trouble, or little babies that we've hatched out, and they need just a little bit of extra care. Then we'll go ahead and give them some of these to help them get through the beginning phases, or a sickness like when we had coccidiosis last year in the chicken coop. And so we supplemented black soldier fly larvae and the mealworms along with some fermented feed, and then in their water we put, what did we put? We put garlic and apple cider vinegar in their water, along with some red pepper flakes. And everything was fine. Everybody that was going to come out of it came out of it. We did lose a few chickens, but the supplementation works and it helps. And so just having something like this on hand, just in case, not something that you're necessarily going to feed every single day, but it's something that you have on hand for when you need it, when an animal needs extra support. Also my quail, they really like them, and during the time frame when they're just beginning to lay, sometimes it's good to be able to supplement a little something extra for them. So all right, guys, I just wanted to show you what I do, and then also, like, let me tell you, you're able to do this in a kiddie pool in order to get a much larger harvest of mealworms. And so if you're interested in that, the only thing that I'll say is that here in Texas, I have lost an entire batch of adults and pupae, of the mealworm adults, pupae, and then the beetles. I lost them in the middle of summer because here in my garage, it just got too hot. Even with all the doors open and everything, it got too hot and it killed off everything. But these are still from the same batch. So the eggs hatched out and they did fine, and the teeny tiny mealworms made it through. So it's not a complete loss anyways. Like, you can still keep the bin going even when something like that happens. You just have to not harvest for a while and just wait it out. So All right, well, I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you next time.